So I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 for about 40 hours now, and I feel like I barely scratched the surface of this amazing game. For my first playthrough, I decided to build Henry as a stealthy character that focuses on using unarmed combat. But I do also use the sword since I want to get a handle on how the combat actually works. I also decided that I won't be using plate armor for this first run, since I wanted to make him a glass cannon. I wanted to utilize the dodge and parry mechanics and not rely on heavy armor. Of course, this might change once I get deeper into the game with harder enemies and situations. But so far, my stealthy Henry has become a menace in the game's provincial region. To be honest, right now I don't think I can make a full-on stealth guide yet since I need to explore more of the stealth mechanics. But I am also exploring other things in the game, so it will probably take time. So for now, I'm gonna give some quick tips for starting your first stealthy Henry playthrough.
You swine!
I'm letting her go!
Die!
Look!
Die! Die! That's for Roman! You bastard!
First tip, noise, visibility, and conspicuousness are everything for stealth. You want to get these stats as low as you can. You don't need to get them to 0. At the start of the game, I found that having 15 to 20 noise was enough for me to walk up behind an enemy and do stealth takedowns. For visibility though, I think you can get away with anything around 30 or so. This stat is basically how far it is for enemies to see you, including when you are under shadows or bushes. It works closely with conspicuousness, as both can help delay how an enemy notices that they are seeing an intruder. When these stats are low, you can likely crouch and walk around enemies in the dark even when they're facing you. Basically, just make sure you are wearing clothes that lower these stats and you should be good. The second tip is abuse the rock throwing mechanics. The ability to throw rocks in this game is amazing. With rock throwing, you can manipulate enemies who are close together to split them apart. Once they are far away from each other, you can then do stealth takedowns and take them out one by one. Also note that rock throwing affects everyone and not just hostile enemies, so you can use it on village guards and even on villagers. Alternatively, there's also a perk that lets you command Mutt to bark and distract enemies. I use this the same way I use rocks. Third tip, increase stealth kill and takedown success rate by leveling strength and unarmed. So in the strength and unarmed perk lists, there are a couple of perks that affect Henry's ability to do stealth takedowns. Tight Grip at level 10 strength and Sandman at level 12 unarmed. From my experience, I think stealth levels, perks, and other things that affect stealth takedowns simply increase the time that Henry has before an enemy counters the sneak attack. It basically prolongs that blue sword icon that pops out that signifies that you need to press the attack button to do a successful takedown. Fourth tip, Deceptive Stance is affected by Henry's overall carry weight. So since I'm playing as a glass cannon stealthy Henry, I was playing around the Deceptive Stance perk that increases warfare skill to 3 levels. This makes Henry better at combat and is very helpful since I sometimes tend to use my fist even against armored enemies. Basically, if you have this perk, you can't wear heavy armor like plate armor and those heavy pants. However, I did figure out that you can wear chainmail and still have the perk active if you have a lot of empty room in your inventory. Now I didn't do the math since that will need a bit of testing, but if you're building Henry the same way as me and you want to utilize Deceptive Stance, you can check if the perk is activated here. I'll just show it since I don't know how to explain it. Fifth tip, level up your stealth skill by pickpocketing and knocking out travelers in the road. This is something that I did in the first game as well. Basically, just become an asshole and practice your stealth kills on travelers. This does mean that you should avoid fast traveling since you need to find travelers on the road. However, this is an efficient way to level up stealth along with horsemanship and even get some items to sell. I also just would like to note that maybe it's better to kill travelers if they've seen you, since there is a high chance that they'll report you to the guards. Sixth tip, the Mischief Artist perk is amazing for unlocking higher level locks. So I found the lockpicking in KCG2 a bit harder than in 1. I'm not sure if it's just really hard or I'm just playing at a very low sensitivity. Anyway, I'm not changing my current sensitivity. But with the Mischief Artist perk, you gain a bonus in thievery and stealth which makes lockpicking harder locks easier. To activate the perk, you need first to do a successful lockpicking or pickpocketing. This is really easy since there should be a nearby easy lock somewhere in town. The effect lasts for 120 seconds, which is long. Additionally, sometimes I like to pickpocket enemies first before I do a stealth takedown, just for the +3 in stealth from the Mischief Artist perk. This makes doing the stealth takedowns easier. 7th and last tip, don't reload if you get spotted or get caught committing a crime. Currently, I am wanted for murder when Mutt beat and killed the mercenary that I was fist fighting with since I stole his horse. The miller and all his family saw what happened and I am now the most wanted man in Semin. I'm also not sure if I can still proceed with the miller's quest and get to the wedding, but I did not reload the game and I'm currently planning on what to do next to fix Henry's reputation. But yeah, situations like this are something very unique in Kingdom Come Deliverance due to its crime and stealth mechanics and the overall game. Do not miss out on these sneaky adventures by just reloading your save. Embrace the chaos. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm going to play KCD2 again.